Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video on the Bogey Men's YouTube channel. Jonny here. I am on my Juliet's third hole, the par 3. So we've had a few people come to us and ask us what has been our favourite or the best golf course in Ireland that we've played. We've had a few people ask us this, so we wanted to put together this video outlining our favourite courses or the best courses that we've played in Ireland. Dave is going to pick 5, I will pick 5, but the caveat is we have to have played these courses. There are some courses that you will see aren't on this list. That's just purely down to the fact that we haven't played those courses yet. So we're going to get straight into this. I'm going to throw over to Dave and he's going to go into his first 5 golf courses.
So we're going to do our top 5, and for me, I'm going to concede my number 1 to Jonny straight away because I know he's going to pick Ballybunion Old, and for me it's going to be Portrush. I was lucky enough to play it, the Dunluce course, on a couple of occasions, both in kind of a leisure format with friends and also in like a competitive format in the north, and I just think that place is just absolutely spectacular. Just the changes that they've made to it in adding like the holes at 7 and 8 just fit in so well with the course, and I suppose a little bit of history and sentimentality to it in that obviously the Open being there and then coming back again in 2025, so that would be my first. The second, and I realise it's not a course that everyone will get to play all the time, but it's certainly an experience you need to go for just once in your life, and that's the golf course at Adare Manor. The welcome that you get down there from Fraser and Mark, and the team down there is exceptional. How they treat you when you come in the gate to the time you leave is just exceptional. The golf course is like nothing you'll ever see. We spoke to James Sugru about it, who practiced there in advance of Augusta, and said that it is in actually better condition than Augusta can be, which is frightening to think of. My third choice, and it's going back to a links course, and it's actually the designer of the course we're standing on here at the moment, is the European Club down in Wicklow. Pat Ruddy's masterpiece. He's lived and breathed that course, and it is his own. He's designed it from start to finish, and it's a tough place to go and play in the wind, but just unbelievably rewarding. And it's a place I feel that everyone should get down to experience it. It's a very old school design with the sleepers in the faces of bunkers, to the scenery and the tricks on the eye that it plays. You'll also play the world's longest green, which is 123 yards long. The fourth course is actually the one we're standing on here, and it's Donegal Golf Club. It's a place I'm lucky enough to be a member of. I play it all the time, and that does not diminish the course in any way or shape or form. We're standing here on the 8th tee box with Bell's Island over my right shoulder here, and we can see down to Ben Bulbin in Sligo, and the vistas, Pat Ruddy designed it, and the vistas that they've used are spectacular. It's only getting better here as well, and one of those courses that people in the northwest really need to get to see. My fifth choice is going back to a parkland course, and it's somewhere that's actually going to undergo a fairly significant redesign, probably more of a facelift than a redesign as well, is Druids Glen. It is kind of seen as the Augusta of the south of the east, effectively. That's how it was built. It has held multiple Irish Open championships, and I think that's where they're going back to again, to get the course back to where that level was back when Sergio won way back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So for my top 5, I'm going to go with Druids Glen.
5 really good courses there, some world-class courses, I think you'll all agree. As Dave mentioned, for my 5, top of that list for me is Ballybunion. We played this as part of the Social Media Open. There's a lot of history around the golf course, there's a lot of history around the club and its relationship with the likes of Tom Watson. A lot of incredible golfers play there as preparation for the Open Championship, and you can see why. I mean, if you play the course, there are holes like 7 and 11, 2 holes in the course that just jump straight to mind. But a lot of people say that the Ballybunion doesn't really begin, or the course doesn't really begin until around the 5th hole, around that mark, and I think that really does a disservice to what's actually a very strong opening stretch. So that's number 1 on my list. That is, if you're to come to Ireland to play one golf course, it's got to be Ballybunion. So number 2 on this list for me is Portmarnock. I actually only got to play this quite recently with David and with a friend of ours, Cian Brannigan. So Portmarnock is it's one of those courses that a lot of people say it's a must visit when you're playing golf in and around Dublin, and having only played it recently, yeah, absolutely, it is fantastic. In terms of course design, course layout, it's incredibly, don't take this the wrong way, it's simple, but simplicity is fantastic. the placement of certain bunkers on a lot of the par 3s, and especially in the closing stretch of holes, the last par 3 on the course, it's on paper relatively straightforward, but made incredibly difficult by some very well placed bunkers. So that's it. Number 2 on my list is Portmarnock, an incredible golf course, and who knows, we might see it in the Open Rhoda soon enough. My third pick is another KERRY golf club. It is Tralee Golf Club, another course that we played as part of the Social Media Open. It's a fantastic golf course. I don't think I can say enough about it that'll do the course itself justice. The front nine I personally loved. It was all out there in front of you, but naturally everyone says that the back nine is incredible. The par 4 12th, the par 3 13th, the 16th, another par 3, all fantastic holes with very imposing dunes, and it can make you feel a little claustrophobic at times, but really walking down the fairway you just get a great sense of the size of these dunes that you're walking around. You're walking up if you've hit a bad shot. Really give you this very, very impressive sense of what kind of land you're walking on. None of this was constructed or artificial. The golf course was designed through and around these dunes, which I think makes it all the more special, and that's for me why it is the third golf course in my 5. So the fourth course for me is the one that we're standing on right now. It is Mount Juliet in Kilkenny, the host of the 2021 Irish Open, where Lucas Herbert obviously stormed to victory. The course, when it is in mid-top condition, it is fantastic. It is one of the best parkland golf courses in the country. I know David picked Adare Manor. This is, for me, this is my version of that. Again, I haven't played Adare, but when the rough is juicy here, when the greens are running fast, there are few places better to play golf inland than Mount Juliet. Holes like this par 3 third, the 4th, the next one narrow par 4, these are holes that can really ruin your scorecard pretty early on. So the first opening 4 holes, you kind of hold your breath, get through them, and then when you get to the par 5 5th, wider fairways, there's less trees, it's less narrow, there's no water, you can kind of open the shoulders and go after it a little bit more. So Mount Juliet is my 4th pick. So to round out my top 5, it is actually a course that I only played a couple of weeks ago, and that is Trump International in Doonbeg. From a playability point of view, off the tee it is very inviting. The landing zones in the fairways are relatively wide, like it invites you to hit driver. Probably on the front line you shouldn't hit driver all that much, but it almost goads you into it with these nice wide landing zones. Where it really shows its teeth is around its green complexes. A lot of the greens are overturned saucers with 3 or 4 bunkers or 2 or 3 bunkers protecting the front left or front right. So you have either 2 options: try and run it up the upturned saucer from directly in front, or try and fly it onto the green and hold the green. Some great holes there. I personally loved the 6th hole, par 4 6th, great shorter par 4 with the ocean on your left hand side, big dunes on your right hand side, narrow fairway and bunkers all across the front of the green. Then there's the closing stretch, 14, great par 3 from an elevated tee down to a low green. The 18th then is also a great par 4, dogleg right. You try and take off as much of the beach as you can to leave yourself a short wedge into a pretty tricky green. So Trump Doonbeg rounds out my top 5 and our top 10 for the 10 best golf courses that we've played in Ireland. Let us know in the comments below what's the best golf course that you've played and what other videos you want to see from us. Until then guys, we'll see you in the next one.